Hello, Caribou! Today's lesson is on adding three-digit numbers. If you can open up your book to page 100 through 101, I'm going to go through each section in your assignment and explain how to do each section, and then you guys will be off to do your work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 1 and 2 together, which is on page 100. So if you're not there yet, just pause the video and make sure you get to page 100, and then we can do these together, okay? So we have, yesterday we did this lesson and we drew out all of these things so you could visually see what's going on here. So basically, just keep in mind those 100 blocks and 10 blocks and the little teeny ones blocks when we're doing this lesson. So we have our little teeny ones blocks in this section. We have our bar blocks here, and we have our squares here. Okay, that's kind of what we're working with. So we have 4 and 7. Well, 4 plus 7. If I think about this, I can say, oh, it takes 3 more to get to 10, right? So there's, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Oh, so I have 11. So 4 and 7 is 11. So I'm going to put, when I do 11, I have 1 bar and 1 little block. So my 1 is going to go here, and then I'm going to carry my 1 up here, okay? So now since it's up here, now it's a 10 because it's this. So this kind of moved over to the tens place. So I have to make sure to add that to my 1 and 6. So I have 6 plus 1 is 7, and then I have my other 1 up here, which is 8. And then I just have my 100 plus 0 hundreds is 100. So the first answer is 181. Next off, excuse me. Next off is 156 plus 229. So we have 6 plus 9. Well, if I think about 6 plus 9, if I take that 1 off of the 6, that would make it a 5, and that 1 could go to there to make it a 10. So then I'd have 15, right? So there's my number 15. Well, the 5 is in the ones place, so that 5 is going to go in the ones place. The 1 is a bar. It's in the tens place, so it's going to get carried up over above the 5, okay? So we can't forget it about up there. When we go to this tens place, we need to make sure we're adding all of these. So we have 50 plus 20 plus 10. So 50 and 20 is 70, plus 10 more is 80. And then we have 100 plus 200 is 300. So our answer is 385. Okay, so that is for numbers 1 and 2 on page 100. Now we're going to move to page 101, and I'm going to go through each section to make sure you understand how to do it. The first section has 6 problems, I believe. Yep, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm just going to do one here to show you how it works. The directions say check for reasonableness, which means that we estimate or round, okay? So first we're going to add it, and then we're going to check to see if our answer makes sense. So we have 9 and 9, which when we add 9 and 9 together, if you think about this 9 having to go up 1 more to get to 10, then we would take 1 away from this 9, which would make it 18. So I'm going to put my 8 below my 9 plus 9 and carry this 1 because that's my bar. I'm going to carry it up here to my tens place. So now I have 10 plus 50 plus 10. So 5, 1, and 1 is 7, and 10, 10, and 5 is 70. So we have 70, and then 700 plus nothing is 700, okay? Now when it asks us to check for reasonableness, we can do this. Let's round to the tens place. So to estimate, I'm going to say, this is going to make my number go up. So I'm going to have 760 plus, if I look behind, that 9 is going to make my 10 go up to 20. So I have 760 plus 20, which is 0, 8, and 7, 780. Is 770 close to 780? Yes, it is. So when you're doing this problem, this is what you want to do. You want to do a rounding problem down here and then compare and make sure that they're pretty close to one another. Okay. If this one had another 0 to it, we would be like, whoa, something's way off. That's in the thousands place. So use that estimation to check for reasonableness. And this is how you're going to do all of those problems in that section. The next section talks about for numbers 9 and 10. It's going to talk about this thing called the commutative property, which we talked about earlier, but sometimes that vocabulary is kind of hard to remember. And just to remind you, the commutative property is just saying that we can add things with this direction or this direction. So we can do 3 plus 5 or 5 plus 3, and it's going to get us the same answer. So those problems, what you'll notice is there's 2 problems side by side in each of those. And you're basically going to just add both of those together and make sure they're the same, okay? And the last problem gives you some lines so you can draw out your own problem. Now, my recommendation is to always put the bigger number on top just because it makes it a little bit easier to visualize and add. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, 217 is the biggest number. So I'm going to write that on top, 217, and make sure my place values are lined up. And then I'm going to write 43, and then I'm going to go ahead and add. And 7 and 3 is 10. So if I look at my 10, my 1's place goes under there, and my 10's place gets carried up to the top there. And I have 4 and 1, which is 6. Or 40 and 10, which is 60. And then I have 200 plus 0, which is 200. And my answer is 260. And it says the unknown number is, well, they have a little box here, and that's what the unknown is. So basically the unknown, you're going to write the answer on that line, which is 260. Okay. And that's how you finish off your assignment. I hope that helps clear up all the directions and make sense. You guys can go back now and do all that work now that you've had the examples from each section. And then tomorrow you'll get to correct on Zoom. All right, have a great day. Ow.